Well, hey MPN, I am out here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Royal Enfield launch event for the Guerrilla 450. Now, I had a quick look at these bikes last night. They gave us a whole launch party. It was fantastic. There's a lot of cool specs, a lot of good stuff coming up with these bikes. I'm not going to give away too much right now, but we're about to go on a really long ride. We'll be gone all day. It's going to be fantastic. I am really looking forward to this. Come with me.
Yeah, so this is the North America product launch for the Guerrilla 450 from Royal Enfield. We call it an urban trailblazer, and so it's a naked roadster at when you look at it from a platform segment perspective. But really, with Royal Enfield, we try to do our own thing, right? Stay true to our brand, stay true to our almost 125-year history, and make sure that every bike we make is brings together the Royal Enfield DNA.
When I first threw a leg over this bike, the first thing I noticed was just how cool it was. There were 3 different color schemes and each one was beautiful.
Here there's a little bit of retro aesthetics, if you will, but a lot more modern colors in this way. So it comes in 3 colors. This one here is the Playa Black. Over here to my right is the Brava Blue, which is, I think, extremely stunning. And then we also have a nice neutral that's in a matte silver finish there, which is the Smoke Silver.
This bike had great lines and a really comfortable seat and riding position. I'm not a particularly big person, and I was able to almost flat foot this bike. At the same time, it didn't feel like I was lacking suspension support or ground clearance. We had some taller riders in this group, and no one seemed to be struggling with comfort either. The Guerrilla 450 uses the same liquid-cooled, single-cylinder, 4-valve engine as the wildly popular Himalayan, but this bike is tuned very differently. It's punchy and torquey and really moves when you want it to.
I think the great thing is that it's super responsive, and you notice that light, agile, torquey feel, like you said, at the low RPMs at the beginning, which is awesome. You get on the bike right away and you feel like you have that freedom and that ability to dodge and dart wherever you need to go, which is, I think, it really breeds confidence that no matter what is thrown at you that may be unexpected on the road, whether that be uneven pavement, potholes, a car, bicycle, pedestrians, that you're going to be in a confident level that you sit within the bike. The bike doesn't dictate where you go, you dictate where you go, and the bike just needs to feel that that message from you, and it'll quickly adjust.
Let's talk specs. The Guerrilla 450 delivers 40 metric horsepower at 8,000 RPM and 40 Newton meters of peak torque at 5,500 RPM, with more than 85% of this torque available starting at 3,000 RPM. What does all that mean? It means when this little guy needs to show its teeth, watch out. It can really get up and go. The engine is water-cooled and features an integrated water pump, twin-pass radiator, and an internal bypass, so everything stays at the perfect temperature no matter what condition you find yourself in. Throw in the 6-speed gearbox with assist and slip clutch, making high-speed cruising a breeze. The Guerrilla really merges classic retro styling with the feel of a modern naked bike.
I think the great thing is that how versatile the bike is, that it can definitely be for a new rider or not a super experienced rider to get on, because it's so easy to ride. But in the same way, the torquey engine, the versatility of the bike allows you to attack the city, go on long distance rides if you're a more experienced rider. But that's also sort of what us as a brand, what we try to produce, we try to promote. You think about the Himalayan 450 as well. When we did that launch, folks we had some super experienced riders on that said, "This is awesome. That just means that I can take this bike to places I can't take other bikes to." And then we also had brand new riders to dirt. They had been on paved but never unpaved, and they're like, "This bike is much easier. Like I feel like I can tackle this now. It's breeding confidence." So similar with this bike, we think this would be great for newer novice riders, because it's easy, it's light, it's got a low profile. But in the same way, for experienced folks, this is definitely a bike you can attack, and you can really ride hard, and will respond really well to whatever you want it to do.
This bike is certainly engineered with the rider in mind. It would be easy enough to ride for a beginner that has all the tools to be quick and agile enough for the more experienced rider. Both front and rear tires are 17-inch and tubeless, and the 1,440mm wheelbase really adds to the bike's stability and control. As with everything coming out of Royal Enfield, this bike is an exceptional value. All three varieties of the Guerrilla are priced at a modest $5,299, and with that you get not only an exceptional ride, but a bike packed with more tech than you'd expect. Of course, you get a variety of ride modes to customize your riding experience, but with the Guerrilla, you get something more. The TFT display integrates with Google Maps, so you have all your navigation needs right on the bike. No need to have your phone mounted on your handlebars.
Yeah, the only one that's directly integrated with Google Maps. So this is the same TFT cluster that we have on the Himalayan as well, but we didn't want to limit it to just folks that are trying to go off-road or anything. If in the city, folks may want to take a different commute or say like, listen, I ran into some kind of barricade, here's a train, here's a backup of some kind. That's reality, right? So if you want to dart and go somewhere else, it integrates with Google Maps for both iOS and Android.
But at the end of the day, all the numbers and gizmos don't really tell the whole story. For me, all I really care about is how it rides. This little bike did not disappoint. With a weight of just 406 pounds wet, this bike felt light and nimble as we cut through the city traffic. The ride through the country was just as fun. It handled the hills and turns like a champ and looked good while doing it. We got a little rain on our ride, but the Guerrilla handled it without any issues. I was just as agile on the wet roads as I was on the dry. All in all, this bike was a blast. It's a great beginner bike and would be just as much fun for a more experienced rider. It's a perfect choice for a weekday city commuter that can also take you where you want to go on a leisurely weekend adventure.